Hey, what's up guys, TheCampingRusher here. Welcome back everybody to another Fortnite video. Today we discuss the no building mode. Will it become its own mode? Will it stay forever? Will it become a hybrid, make its way into competitive? We've got some info, some evidence, and then we're also discussing what is waiting for us for the end of this season. It's gonna be the biggest live event of all time. Why? Well, it's gotta be, right? They always outdo themselves. We know it's gonna be a massive event, and there is something waiting for us, and the secret is in Covert Cavern, or I guess Command Cavern, right? The new IO headquarters. First, though, together, Fortnite tweeted this: we've already raised 36 million USD for humanitarian relief for Ukraine. The funds will go to, and it's listed right there. I'm just happy to be a player of one of your games when you make moves like this. Yeah, makes me a proud player, and that's just one day, 36 million. That goes all the way till the 4th, I believe, of April. Season 2 ends on June 4th, by the way. Just so you've kind of got an end date, and that's how long we gotta wait. I mean, we got lots of fun to be had until then, but let's jump right in here to build mode. All right, let's start with this. If no build mode became permanent in Fortnite, which mode would you play? Please vote and share for a good sample size, and you can see no building is 62%. So, and I'm seeing this everywhere. Every poll I see, I'm seeing no building do better than building. Now, keep in mind, it's new, it's fresh, right? It's fun. You're going to be a little skewed. I think that number will come down a little bit as it gets a little older, but at the same time, I think this just shows building in Fortnite is such a unique mechanic, right? There's so many games out there that are shooters that I'd say there's probably more people who are comfortable with shooting than they are with building, just because it's more mainstream. There's more out there. With that being said, Fortnite has now opened up this new, not new player base, but grabbing a lot of players from different games that do not like building. I see it with my friend group. I had a big session last night, 3 hours. Love it, by the way. So hard, but so fun. I'm one of those guys that relies on building. My aim is rough. I'm a shaky guy. So, but it's fun, man. It's a challenge. But we had a huge sesh. I love it. But I could tell a few of my buddies were just loving the game more than they have in years because of the no building, right? It gives them a fair chance to even compete because people aren't building huge towers after one shot. So, what's going to happen here? Well, first, it's basically confirmed that the no build mode will remain. All right, after the testing period here, I believe the 29th, we're for sure going to have a separate no build mode. Now, let's build on that though, because there's a Reddit comment here that a Reddit post here that I want to talk about. Building will remain disabled in IO zones. This is his opinion. Now, just so you know, what the storyline or the explanation for why building is removed is that the IO has put up building jammers. Right, so it's the IO not allowing us to build. So his theory is here on the 29th, we will switch to a hybrid mode, right? Where you can build in 7 controlled areas, resistance controlled areas, but you cannot build in IO areas. And remember, those areas, the IO areas will shrink as the season goes on, right? We've only seen up to phase 2 and it started to shrink. So I assume the resistance will keep pushing back throughout the season. I think this is a possibility, and then it would have to be very obvious though once you cross over, right? Or it could make for some frustrating fights, but I'm sure there's a way to handle that. What do you think? Do you think a hybrid mode is possible? For now, competitive remains building. There's nothing in the files saying that competitive will turn to a no build mode as well, but again, based on popularity and based on the amount of players that enjoy not building, I think that at least a no build mode is sticking around forever. I had one of my favorite sessions last night, and I can't wait to get back on today. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts down below. Side note, each Battle Bus funding booth has a different percentage to being funded. So as of this morning, we were about 23%, 21%. So around that 22% mark. At different locations, right? They'll be funded individually. It should work out to arrive at the same time. And then we get our battle buses. I can't wait. The tanks are already so OP. You need to get a tank, right? You have to have one, or you need a ton of C4. Again, I'm not complaining, just stating the obvious, but it's part of the fun, right? Speaking of funding votes, here's the upcoming ones. Boogie Bomb versus Rift to Go, Shield Bubble versus Balloons, and MK7 versus Combat AR. What will you vote for? The first one is MK7 versus Combat AR. Based on the polls, Fire Monkey did some polls. The winners so far are MK, Shield Bubble, and Rift to Go. The only one I would change there for my vote is Balloons. I would rather Balloons than Shield Bubble. Airstrikes will return. Here are the new stats. Building damage doubled. Players damage changed from 75 to 60, so less OP there. New vehicle damage is 240. And so some other increases and decreases there. Not too sure when. I'm sure that's another thing we're going to fund, right? There's the voting funds, and then there's just the fund, like the battle bus. And there will be a ton of things we need to fund, including the Choppa. And here's a look at the 7s version of the Choppa. It's got that cool looking, I don't know, 7 design. Yeah, that's mean looking, man. Choppa, planes, ballers. It's just going to be wild. The air and on the ground, the battle. I can't wait. It's going to feel like Season X, I think. Maybe even more crazy than Season X. Also, speaking of styles, as the war between IO and the 7 continues over the season, when the Resistance takes back territory, which we just talked about, they will also repurpose IO equipment left behind. So for example, this will be the IO's Titan tanks. So that's why I was confused. I didn't know if tanks spawned in both areas. No, at this point they only spawn in IO controlled areas, but as the Resistance pushes them back, then the 7 will take over their old equipment. So it should still spawn in the same places then, I guess, but you'll be able to see what type of tank or where the tank was initially spawned from in each match based on the style, right? Just cool. Makes it feel very involved, to say the least. Now, something that we really need based on playing yesterday, and that included me kicking some butt with tanks and get my butt kicked by a tank, is this, right? The Anvil rocket launcher. We got some gameplay of it though, so you understand how it's going to work. It locks on to vehicles. It'll do some big damage. And there's a bunch of anti-vehicle stuff coming. This is one of them. And yeah, it makes sense why, right? This is the season of vehicles, and we're just getting started, as I've mentioned a few times already. New strings: Kylo Ren's lightsaber, Luke's lightsaber, Mace Windu's, and Rey's lightsaber. At some point, we are getting more Star Wars stuff. Again, I expect it to be in May, as that's the release of the Kenobi series. The last bit of this video is all about storyline, live event, where are we going? I know there's a lot of fans out there, just like me, of the storyline, so I kind of put it in all one place. Yeah, there's some big info. Even if you're not too into it, live event stuff is always good for everyone. Let's start with this. All unique dialogue from members of the 7 towards the Paradigm. If you're gonna betray us, get it over with. The Foundation. I have nothing more to say to you, Origin. You've got people really bent out of shape down here. You know that? That's our quiet visitor. You still working for the blue guy? And we don't know who that blue guy is. Take your guesses down below. Your last message has been delivered. Don't worry. So yeah, Paradigm is, no one really likes Paradigm right now. What did she do? How did she betray them at one point? Is she gonna do it again? We got a lot to unpack. I am sure we unpack it this season. Now, in order, we're gonna reveal the voice. You might have already heard it in game via quests, but here is the origin and then the imagined voice reveals.
You must be the scientist's contractor. They call me the Origin, the 7's field general and tactician. Do you know how I earned that job? By watching countless worlds end. And by my calculations, this one is next.
Listen up. I'm the Imagined. You don't know me, but, well, we have 6 mutual friends. And a mutual problem. The Imagined Order has blocked building.
Some beautiful voices for some exciting characters. I gotta be honest, I think I'm gonna be rocking the Imagined constantly. Such a good skin. I love purple, and the mask, the customization, the storyline relevance. It might be my favorite skin of all time. So be ready for that. Be ready to see a lot of the Imagined as my go-to skin. Yeah, so that dialogue goes on and on. I got it in front of you. I didn't want to, you didn't have to, it was like 2 minutes total of dialogue. But they talk about the building blackout and how we're gonna prevent it, how the seven's gonna work on preventing it and stopping it, and then they're studying ballistic resistance alloy the IO is using to build their tanks, and that'll lead to the anti-vehicle stuff. And finally, some growling can be heard from the vault located in Command Cavern. What is hiding underneath? I'm going to play that growl for you right now, and I'm also going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Take care. Here it is.